Hi, John here, and today I'm going to demonstrate the app MacroDroid. This is an app similar to Tasker if you've ever heard of it. It allows you to set up automations on your phone. A couple of weeks ago, we discussed modes and routines on Samsung devices, and this is not quite a full replacement, but pretty close if you want to have that sort of functionality on a phone that's not a Samsung phone, a Pixel for example. So this is a very powerful app. I'll just go ahead and get started. I've installed it from the Play Store. I'm going to open it.
MacroDroid page.
And here's the first run experience.
MacroDroid page. MacroDroid. MacroDroid makes it simple to create automatic events on your device to make your life easier. Unlabeled button. Next button.
I'm going to hit this next button.
Page 2 of 4. A trigger is an event on your device that when detected will cause a macro to run. Every day at 11 p.m. Unlabeled button. Next button.
Gonna hit this next.
Page 3 of 4. Actions are used to configure your device or perform other useful outputs. Set the volume to 0. Unlabeled button.
I'm assuming this unlabeled button is a back button.
Next button.
I'm gonna hit next.
Page 4 of 4. Page. A constraint allows you to limit when a macro is allowed to run. Only when the screen is off. Unlabeled button. Next button. MacroDroid on top. Allow MacroDroid to send you notifications. On bottom. Allow button. Allow MacroDroid to send you notifications.
I'm going to allow.
MacroDroid. Drawer menu button. Pro upgrade applied. MacroDroid. Drawer menu button.
So as you heard, there's a pro version of this, and it gives you a few more features, but you can get most of the functionality from the free version. I think the main limit is how many macros you can have, but other than that, it's mostly functional. There are a couple of features that you need the pro version for, but they'll be labeled in the app as pro features. So here we are on the main screen. There are a few tabs at the bottom.
Selected. Home. Tab.
Home, which is where we are.
Macros. Tab.
Macros.
Templates. Tab.
Templates.
Settings. Tab.
And settings.
Templates. Tab.
Templates are shared macros basically from other users that you can install without having to set up yourself.
Macros.
And
tab.
macros are ones you've set up yourself or that you've installed or set up from a template. And of course the home
Selected.
screen.
Home. Tab.
Here's what's on the home screen.
Add macro.
You can add a macro.
Add macro wizard.
You can do a wizard.
Forum.
Forum.
Action blocks. Export import. Variables. Stopwatches. Geofences.
So there's a lot you can do from this home screen.
Cell towers.
I won't go through all of this because I'm just going to show you how to set up a custom macro. So I'm going to go back to the first item.
Add macro. Unlabeled button. Enter macro name. Edit box.
So here's where you would put the name. I'll name it last.
Description button. Select category button.
You can add a category if you want. I'm going to leave it.
More options button.
And there's more options.
Navigate to the macro list screen on your other device and select the option to import from nearby device via the menu.
So this is a tip on how to import.
Triggers. Add trigger button.
So there's no triggers yet because we haven't added anything. I'm going to add a trigger.
Add trigger. Navigate up button. Triggers. A trigger is an instantaneous event that your device can detect to make a macro run. A macro must have at least one trigger to be valid. Heading.
So that's a hint.
Got it button.
Gonna dismiss this.
Applications. Heading.
So what I'm going to do as a demonstration is I'm going to set the trigger as when it's wirelessly charging. So I'm going to look through these categories.
Battery power. Heading.
Battery/power. It's probably going to be in here. I double tapped, so that should have expanded it. I'm going to swipe.
Battery level. Battery saver state. Battery temperature. Power button toggle. Power connected disconnected.
This is probably what I want. Let me see what they
Call
are.
SMS. Heading.
Okay, yeah, that was the last one in that
Power
category.
connected disconnected.
So I'm going to double tap here.
Select option. Checked. Power connected. Power disconnected. Cancel. Button. OK. Button.
So I'm going to hit OK because power connected is checked.
Select option. Checked. Wired fast charge.
I don't want to do wired. I just want to do wireless.
Not checked. Checked. Wireless. Checked. Wired. Slow charge. Not checked. Cancel. Button.
So now the only thing checked is wireless charging.
OK. Button. Add macro. Add trigger. Button.
So now that I have this trigger set, I'm going to
Power
swipe right.
connected. Wireless.
This is the trigger I just added. So next should be
Actions.
the actions, which we don't have any yet. So I'm going to make the action turn on do not disturb. So basically, if you charge your phone wirelessly at night and you just want it to go on do not disturb as soon as you set it on the charger, this is what this macro will do for you.
Add action. Button. Add action. Navigate up. Button. Actions. An action is something your device can do when a macro runs. A macro must have at least one action to be valid. Heading. Got it. Button.
Dismiss this.
Applications. Heading.
So I'm going to see if we can search.
More options. Button. Toggle help. Button. Search. Button. Space. Showing Braille keyboard. D. O. Do. N. Not. D. I. Street. U. R. B. Disturb. Keyboard hidden.
So,
Clear query.
see what
Button.
showed up.
Volume. Heading.
So under the volume heading,
Priority mode. Do not disturb.
there's do not disturb. I'm going to double tap there.
Permission required. To use this feature, you must enable the Do Not Disturb access option in your phone settings.
So this app is going to ask you for a lot of permissions. The good thing is it'll only ask you if you're trying to set up a macro to do that specific thing. But this is a very powerful app, so depending on what you're doing, there's definitely a lot of permissions you can grant this app.
Ignore. Button. Cancel. Button. OK. Button.
Gonna hit OK.
Do not disturb. Do not disturb access. Navigate up. Button.
So now I'm going to find MacroDroid in this list.
Phone. Allowed. Personal safety. Allowed. PayPal. Not allowed. Meet. Not allowed. MacroDroid. Not allowed. Do not disturb access. Navigate up. Button. MacroDroid. 5.37.12. Allow do not disturb. Off. Allow access to do not disturb for MacroDroid. The app will be able to turn on off do not disturb and make change. Deny. Button. Allow. Button. Do not disturb access. Allow do not disturb.
All right, so
on.
I'm going to back out now.
Do not disturb access.
Back out.
Add
out
action.
again.
Do not disturb. Priority mode. Do not
Dismiss
disturb.
this keyboard.
Keyboard hidden.
Let's try again.
Priority mode. Do not disturb.
Double tap on this.
Select option. Checked. Allow all. Allow priority notifications. Block all. Alarm only. Cancel. Button.
Okay, so those are my options.
Alarm only.
I'm going to say alarm only.
Checked. Cancel. Button. OK. Button.
I'm going to hit OK.
Add macro. Add action. Button. Priority mode. Do not disturb. Alarm only.
So as you can see, that's the action there.
Constraints.
Now constraints, these are, it'll probably explain it, but
Add constraint. Button.
it lets you define when this will run. So for example, I'm going to set up a time so that if I put this on the charger at night is when it does it. If I put it on a wireless charger during the day, it won't do it.
Add constraint. Navigate up. Button. Constraints. Constraints are optional and can be used to allow or prevent a macro action from running based on certain conditions. A macro action will only run if the constraint condition is true. You can add constraints to got it. Button.
So I'm going to hit dismiss this.
Battery power. Heading.
I'm going to look for a time.
Connectivity. Heading. Date time. Heading.
Go here. See what the options are here.
Calendar entry. Day of the month. Day of the week. Month of the year. Stopwatch. Sunrise, sunset. Time of day.
I'm going to go to time of day.
Start time. 23. Button.
All right, so I'm going to set
00. Edit box.
the start time to
23. Button.
Hit this button.
2300. 2200. 2100. 21. Edit box. 20. Button. 2000. 20
So-
replace 21. 20.
I set it to 8 o'clock p.m.
20. Edit box.
as the
21.
start
Button.
time.
59. Button. 0001. Button. Cancel. Button. OK. Button.
Hit OK.
End time. 23. Button. 00. Edit box.
I'm just going to set this to 8 a.m.
00. Edit box. Showing Braille keyboard. Number. 8. Keyboard hidden. OK. Button.
So from 8 p.m. to
Add
8 a.m.
macro. Add constraint. Button. Time of day. 2000 to 8 o'clock.
So that's the time constraint. It will only automatically turn on Do Not Disturb when wireless charging between those times. So now I'm going to go back up to the top and add
Enter macro name. Edit box.
a name.
Enter macro name. Showing Braille keyboard.
Just going to say automatic Do Not Disturb at night. So
A-U-T-O. Auto. Cap. D. Cap. N. Cap. D. DND. A. T. At. Cap. N. I. GH. T. Night. Keyboard hidden.
So
Auto DND at night. Edit box. Enter macro name.
now near the bottom right, there's a
Accept. Button.
accept button, and that's how you save it.
MacroDroid. Drawer menu. Button.
So from now on, this will automatically turn on Do Not Disturb if I charge this phone between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. So that's just one example of a macro that you can set up. So now if I go to the Macros tab,
Macros. Tab. Macros. Selected.
this is where my macro will be.
Templates. Tab.
I go back.
Auto
Touch
DND
up
at
here.
night. Never activated. Last edited. 1 minute ago. Capital T. Power connected. Capital A. Priority mode. Do not disturb. Alarm only. Capital C. 2000 to 8 o'clock.
So there it is, and it's the only one on this page. If you want to add user created macros, you go to templates at the bottom.
Templates. Tab.
Just going to show you an example
All
of one
categories.
that's,
Selected. Page 2 of 4.
you can sort by category if you want. Just going to see what's on this page.
Secretly record audio studio microphone. 3528.
So secretly record audio, maybe they have a button command for it, or flip your phone face down, something like that. Once you open it, you can see what all the constraints and triggers and actions are. So that's just an example of one on this list. Let's see. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, find another one.
Flashlight vibration mode. 2740.
So as you can see, let's see. Scroll down a little more.
If Bluetooth enabled on any device not connected for 30 seconds, then it will disable Bluetooth.
See, so these are just a couple examples of the type of thing you can do. If you don't want to set up your own, you can see what other people have done. Maybe some of those will appeal to you. But I encourage you to look at this app and go through the different triggers and actions yourself just to see what it can do. But this has just been a quick demo of how to create a macro using MacroDroid. Thanks for listening.